Decided you to move from tech to real estate?
Been thinking about real estate, like reading about it, like part of those 30 years, I just never pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
now's the time. Good job. Okay. Well, good luck. And okay, so Brandon, Syria, Stacy, Casey, Jocelyn. Nice. Good job. Congrats. Mhm. Fun. Well, welcome everyone. We're going to talk about social media, obviously. I'm going to tell you a little bit, like I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on and just like the theory behind social media and then like what I do. But everything here is, I feel like social media is so, for a lot of people, it's like, it's out there. What do I do? You know what I mean? But I feel like there's things that you have to do and think about before you start posting, you know? And so we're going to talk about some of those things today where you can set up a plan and then once you kind of have all that background stuff, then the actual social media will come for you. For me, social media is a very big part of my business. In fact, this morning as I was driving over here, I was thinking to myself, where do my leads come from? I mean, I should be tracking that. I do have a spreadsheet. I do have, but where do they come from? Um, I I'm to the point in my business where I don't really make a lot of daily calls, right? I'm always reaching out and contacting my database, but I'm not on the phone all the time. Well, that's not true. I am on the phone all the time, but I'm not like lead gen on the phone, right? Yes, I'm texting my sphere. Yes, I'm reaching out to invite them to events. But the big place where most of my sphere it sees me is on social media. That's where I stay top of mind. I'm posting mostly every day, not some weeks are better than others, but I do have like I try to be consistent. That's the biggest thing on social media is being consistent, right? So, um, why does social media matter, right? Why does social media matter? Why do we need to be on social media? And anyone want to why? Why do you need to be on social media? Casey.
because you want to be ever present in the minds of friends so that when they're ready to make their real estate decision, listing, selling, buying, whatever, you're the first person.
Yeah.
Justin, you need this exact same thing. They see them next to each other every month.
Yes, we have some friends. He and I have some mutual friends, and uh, he mentioned Justin Udy. He's another guy who we went to the MRED, and we're both in real estate. All of us are in real estate. So, yeah, social media is where people are going to find you. That's where people are, right? Everybody's on social media now. Even grandma's on social media. My mom, she's 86 years old and is on social media. That she says, did you text me that video? And I'm like, what video? I don't know what you're talking about. And that she saw it in a story somewhere and she wants to find it again, and it's gone. So anyway, but grandma's on social media. Everybody's on social media. So we need to be on social media, right? When we first got going into real estate, oh gosh, then let's see. Like I said, I got licensed in 2012, full time in 2016, but I was doing it part time. I used to be a school teacher, taught high school English before. And then we owned a construction company. And then he started working for a builder as one of their sales agents. And I was diving in and he's like, you got to make your 50 calls every day. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Uh-oh, Cameron's in here and he's like, don't tell them not to make calls. Calls are important. Yes. Yes, yes. But I'm like, that sucks. I'm gonna figure this out. And I'm like, I know social media is gonna be a thing. It was just like kind of gaining traction back then. More and more people were getting on social media. So anyway, I just started that consistently, started posting. You guys, I don't even have a huge following. Okay. I probably have, I don't even know. 2,000, 3,000 followers, something like that. It doesn't matter. You don't need 100,000 followers to have a really good business. What you need is just people who, like, these are your people, right? That's who you need following you. The people who already know you, like you, and trust you, those are the people that need to follow you. Those are the people who I work with. Yes, okay, new people come into the community, but really it's the people who I already have made connections with in real life who are following me. And that's who I am constantly pushing out my information to. That's my ideal client, or the people who already know me, right? Because those actually are easy to sell. People who already know you, like you, and trust you, right? We don't have to convince them or sell them. Okay, so today's consumer decision making is digital first. Clients, they research their agents before they even call. Yes, there are some people who I haven't met, but usually they come from a referral who knows me, who's following me, right? And what they'll do is they'll say, hey, you should call Courtney. And then they'll start stalking me on my Instagram or my Facebook. That's where I'm mostly on. Socials is there. Social presence is social proof. So I think Dean said something like, you can't be a secret agent, right? Because then what does he say? Something about when you're a secret agent, like you're secret, nobody knows about you, right? But when we're on social media, we have a presence, people can go find you. It doesn't matter if you've been in the business 10 years, if you're a, top 1% sales agent, if you're a new agent, it doesn't matter. Okay? What matters is that you're on social media and you're starting to make a presence. Consistency equals familiarity equals trust. So you don't have to post every day either. You just need to be consistent. So if your plan is, okay, especially for those like, look, I'm a Gen X, but I don't know, I like techie things. So I've been on things. But some people who are in my generation are like, I hate going on social media. I don't want to go on social media. Why do I have to go on social media? And they get really overwhelmed thinking about having to post. But if you can just say, hey, I'm going to post like 2 times a week or 1 time a week, but I'm going to do it consistently every day or every week on Monday. I'm going to make a post. Then that's good. At least you've got something going, right? Your Instagram is essentially your storefront. People come to our office, but like, your office is your Instagram. That's your storefront. That's where you advertise yourself. You are your brand, which we're going to talk about branding in a second. So it helps to gain recognition, trust, proof, referrals, and conversion. We're going to talk about all of that. The ways that social media work are through reach, community, and conversion. Reach means you've got to be visible somewhere, right? So how are you going to reach these people? And again, it doesn't mean we have to get 1,000 or 10, 100,000. Okay, my goal is someday to have 10,000 followers, only because I want to unlock some features on Instagram that I cannot access until I get 10,000 followers. But I don't care that much because, I don't care that much. I'm still getting what I need from I run a pretty good business. We average around 35 sales a year. That is a really great life and income. That's another thing, y'all. You don't need that many to have a really good life. Okay. So, anyway, side note on that. Okay. So our reach, that's our visibility, how often we're posting, where, our community, this again is like our followers, but the community is not about you. Your community is about them. How can you serve your people who follow you, right? Nobody wants it to be all about you all the time. Like, this is your community. How can we serve the community? And then conversion. We're going to talk about how to convert on socials. Okay. So in branding, the idea behind branding, there's your fonts, there's your colors, there's your logos, but that is like the tertiary things of branding. The branding is, who are you? What do you represent? What's your why? Why do we do real estate? Okay, so this is some homework for you. when we're done is write down, I help. So who's your ideal client? Who do you want to help buy and sell real estate? In what areas? For me, okay, a few years ago, I was running all over the state, and I'm not even kidding you. I had a listing up in Clarkston, Utah, which is on the border of Idaho. It's like, I don't even know, 30 minutes west of Logan. You got to go back in by Smithfield. Is that right? Is that the right town? Somewhere in there, in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I had one there. Then I had one down in like Manti area. And then I was helping some people in St. George. And then a bunch in my main area of Salt Lake and Utah counties. And I was like, this sucks. I mean, I'm doing this because it was like 2021. No, yeah, it was around there. I was just taking whatever, right? Because I just wanted to keep growing my business. And I got to the point I was like, I was doing a lot of business in Daybreak. And I was everywhere in Daybreak. There's this one team. She had a storefront, like an actual office, like right there downtown Daybreak. And I saw her signs everywhere. And I was like, she has like planted a flag right here in Daybreak, and all of her business, I don't know all, but a lot of her business was in that Daybreak, South Jordan area. And I'm like, everywhere I go, I see a sign. And I'm like, I want that. I'm like, I got to figure something else because I am tired of driving 2.5 here, 2.5 there, 4 hours here. you know, I'm running myself ragged. And so that's when I started, okay, wait a minute. I live in Saratoga Springs. It makes sense for me to work here. I lived in Eagle Mountain for 10 plus years there. It made sense for me to plant my flag right there. Granted, yes, I still do business, in South Jordan. I still do business. Like I have some sales in Santaquin, and, I'll try to stay in those regions because I don't want to be traveling all places. But the bulk of my business now is in Saratoga and Eagle Mountain. And I wanted to be that expert, or like the Gary V, where he talks about being like the digital mayor. I wanted to be like the real estate mayor of Saratoga and Eagle Mountain, right? And again, there's enough business for us Saratoga people to be successful, right? Like we don't have to step on each other to get success. There's enough for all of us. But because again, you don't need that many to have a really good life business. Okay. So I help who, in where, buy and sell real estate. Like what do I do to help them to buy, or what is my why? What's my process? What do I offer? What's my value proposition to my clients? Okay. Kind of along this line. So what makes of our brand, this last little bit here, buy and sell real estate okay, what is my, people are hiring you. They're not hiring Keller Williams, although Keller Williams is a big bonus because they're like, oh wait, Keller Williams is like a known good firm. We have a huge market share. What is it? 25% in Eagle Mountain or in Utah County. Number one. It's great when you're a new agent to use that and piggyback off of you, but they're really hiring you. Okay. If you and I were going up, and I've been in real estate, 10 plus years, have a pretty established business by now. But if I'm going up, if I'm competing for a listing or a buyer with someone who already knows and likes and trusts you, there's more likely that they're going to go with you, even if you don't have that much experience. So, on your social media, you do want to show your personality. You do want to show what values you represent. You want to show your market knowledge. What's your process? These are all things that you can post about. What is your specialty? What's your communication style? How do you communicate during transactions? And what's your problem solving ability? So showing some examples or proof or testimonials of how you solved problems in real estate. So those are things that you can post about. These are things that I post about all the time, but it also represents you and your brand. Okay. So again, kind of going back to your social identity on your branding. Who do you help? Where do you help them and why? And what are we going to do next? What's your call to action for them? Okay, on your bio, I took a social media class from this girl right here. And she talked about what you need to do on your bio to um, for one, you need an SEO friendly title. So for her, she put social media marketing. I think it's just Utah real estate agent or something like that. And then my name. And then you can put your Instagram handle. And then what do you do? So she does that. Why someone would work with you, building raving socials for online business, your call to action, get your weekly newsletter, and a link right there. She recommends not using Linktree. So on Instagram, they have like, I think 5 links that you can link now on your Instagram profile. So she recommends linking directly from there. And the reason for that is you can put in links on those that will track, you can like capture their info. Whereas on a link tree, you might not be able to do that. They might only click on that and then maybe not go anywhere else. And then definitely you want your name there because you are your personal brand. In real estate, you are the face, you are the brand. So change that. So I'll show you mine in a minute. Okay, so content that works. So you don't really need to do trendy things. There are some agents in our office and other people, and like what I recommend is that you go on Instagram and you start doing market research, finding agents in the market who you like their style, but also we don't want to like copy 100%. You've got to be you, right? Show who you are, but start doing some market research and seeing what people are doing and what you like. And so that it can kind of help you come up with a plan for what you want to do for your own social marketing plan. You don't really need trends. You just need clarity. And what I mean by clarity is you just need a plan, you need consistency. And so the content must position you as a guide, a trusted advisor, and a skilled strategist, not just a poster of homes. So yeah, it's nice to post pretty homes, but people need to see that you're more than just posting pretty homes. So how are you there? They're Gandalf. You're the Gandalf of real estate. You're leading Frodo to whatever. I'm losing my story here. My analogy. You're the trusted advisor. You're the skilled. So show that on your Instagram or whatever you're going to use. 5 content pillars. Okay. So when I am coming up with my strategy, I think about with my plan so that there's clarity here and that there's consistency. I learned this 5 content pillars from another social media girl. Her name is Jenna Kutcher, and I took a little Instagram class from her, and she talks about these content pillars. So you're going to have like for me, it's an educational pillar. So on a certain day of the week, I'm going to post something about education. Another day might be a social proof day. So a testimonial, a success story. Another day, I might highlight the local life, becoming that social mayor. Maybe I know, okay, there's one lady in Spanish Fork. I really love her. I've done a few deals with her too. She's really awesome. Although I'm blanking on her name right now. I'll think of it in just a second. But I follow her and she goes to she's like doing like a Spanish Fork, like a highlight once a week or at least a couple times a month. She'll go to the board meetings or the city council meetings and the planning meetings and stuff. And she'll find out what's going on, what's coming up, what's happening in her city. And then she reports on that. And I love to follow her strictly for that reason. So you could do something like that. Some behind the scenes. So for me, a big part of my business is staging. So maybe when I'm staging, I'll show like when I'm there in my stories, I might show me taking down staging or look here, I'm putting up this bed and here's my tricks on how to put up a bed that looks real that's actually fake, Yes, yes. Yeah. And then of course your listings in active business, things that you're doing. So these are, you have to decide what are my five content pillars that you want to focus on. And you don't even, if it's five's too many for you and overwhelming, then just pick three, or one. Whatever you can do to get on socials right now. Okay. A weekly posting rhythm. Okay. For me, or this is just gonna be hypothetical. So Monday could be like a market update or a how-to type post. A Wednesday, maybe you're not going to post on Tuesday. A Wednesday post could be like a behind the scenes type thing. Friday can be an authority success story. For me, I like to do Tuesday's testimonial day because it's, I don't know, the alliteration there. Just, you know, Saturday can be your lifestyle personal, and then you can trickle in your listings and business stuff. I like to have, for me, I like to have like, okay, here's my consistent that I'm going to have every week. But if I have a new listing, then I have like a 5-day launch plan for that. And I might, I'll figure out how to put those in to my weekly rhythm. But if I don't have a listing coming up live, this is what's going down. So things that you can post even without listings. You can do neighborhood spotlights. When I was a new agent, I would go and tour houses. And now this you do have to be careful with nowadays. You do have to ask the agent if you can post the listing agent. You have to ask for approval if you can put it on your social medias, right? So if you're like, okay, on Wednesdays, I'm going to go and I'm going to tour like 2 or 3 homes in my wherever I want to be, wherever I want to plant my flag. So if you guys live in the SSOA, maybe you want to be the expert of the SSOA, right? So any listings that come up in the SSOA, you're going to go and highlight that. It's the Saratoga HOA, the OG. Okay, so maybe you're going to go and highlight 1 or 2 of those listings a week. And then people are seeing in your network, hey, look, Brandon's, they don't know that that's not your listing. I mean, yes, at the bottom, you do have to give credit to whoever, right? Like in your caption, you have to give credit, but they're seeing the video. They're seeing you out working. They don't know that that's not really your listing unless they go dig for it. But what they're seeing is, oh, look at him. Look at him go, So how pre-approvals work, what inspections cost, what do you look for in an inspection? Why do we get an inspection? DIY pre-listing improvements. What can you do before you even call your agent? What are some things that you can start doing around your house to prep to get this house ready to sell? Day in the life content of being a real estate agent. I mean, for a while there in my stories, every day I'd kind of list like, this is my to-do list for the day in my socials. So people could see, oh, look, real estate agents, a lot of people think, oh, they make a lot of money and they don't do anything. It's like, what? Like Casey just said, I'm working from 9 to 9 and I haven't made any money yet, but I'm working from 9 to 9. It's like, yep. That will be your life for a little while, and then things will start happening for you, right? Client stories, if you have any. You can even highlight other people's listings in our office. Why you became an agent. You don't need active clients to serve value right now, okay? Real strategy. Okay. You need a hook, you need to offer some kind of value, and you need a call to action. So hook, Weyer's estimate is misleading. Okay, so usually in these hooks, they need to be something like vague or broad, something like where you're giving a spicy opinion on something, something contrary that like hooks them, and then they go read, and you just got to capture their attention in some way. Or it can be something that's like related to pop culture, like maybe I don't know, if you watch Ryan Serhant's show and you're like, break down some fancy listing or whatever and like talk about the cost of all of that. And then like bring that down to Utah, compare. Or I don't know, value. what are you, what kind of value are bringing from this video? Like, are we what are we teaching about in this? And then your call to action, DM value for real market analysis. You can sign up for ManyChat, which is where the ManyChat where they say comment house. And then they comment house, so it gets them to engage, and immediately that app sends a link to their bio, or I mean their messages with a link to the property or something like that, right? So you can sign up for ManyChat. Okay, hooks that stop scrolls. So vague, broad, spicy opinions, pop culture. So POV, your buyer asks for a quiet luxury neighborhood. And maybe then it could be like a cool video with like, you know, just kind of showing the community or the backyard of, I don't know. If you go to this is something I do. I go to Parade of Homes religiously every year so I can get really nice content for like Be Real. Be Real means it's just like what? Like background video type stuff. So it's like spanning a pretty kitchen, spanning a pretty backyard, and then you might have some words on it. Like just so people like to see those kinds of things. Crazy. One of the video reels that got the most action on was me just doing this to arrange with the hood, and it was like a Le Cornu, which is a French brand, and oh, they are beautiful. I want one so bad. Some that's on my when I build the dream house. Oh my gosh. How much are they, Casey?
I don't
Okay.
think there's less than, you can get a,
Right, like the big ones were like 50,000
put in. That one was.
range. Well, the low core news, I have an I have an obsession with Paris too and France. So I need a Le Cornu. Okay. Anyway, that one got the most hits and it was like nothing. And I didn't even have music to it. It was like the sounds of the people at the Parade of Homes. So it's just crazy like what things get traction and what don't. I feel like the algorithm is nobody can track it. It's but that's why consistency is matters. There's no secrets here other than consistency showing up, right? Take a trend and break down the cost. This might offend someone, but then give your opinion about something. Like this might offend someone, but what could be real estate related?
You should live at Saratoga.
No, I need people to come and move to I got a listing in Sarah. Please come buy my listing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Three mistakes sellers make when pricing. That could be a, spicy opinion. um, Wait to buy until you know this. How do we get a buyer $15,000 equity at closing? So hooks grab the attention. If you're going to do an educational post, explain what earnest money is, why appraisals matter, inspection timelines, seller net sheets. Your job is to basically translate real estate into real language for people. Okay, proof posts, your social proof. Sold in X days. Buyer got closing costs paid. Seller avoided price improvement by prepping correctly. I always, whenever I am doing a posting about any of my listings that sold, I always think back, okay, what happened in this transaction that I can highlight as something I did to show that I negotiated to help my buyer get more, right? So I always highlight that somewhere. Okay, lifestyle examples. So posting your personality matters. People, again, are hiring you. So you're spending a lot of time with people when you're out shopping for houses. And so, what? Oh, Where's the code thing to put it in? Cameron, what do I do?
Maybe we unshare and reshare.
Okay, how do I unshare? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so again, people are hiring you because, and they want to see that you have somewhat of a personality. You might be fun to, tour homes with. Not, I mean, obviously, you got to show your skill too, but you got to show that you're like a fun person and like cool. I don't know. Am I cool, Casey?
Already decided.
Okay,
That's your social proof.
yeah. Doing some different things, showing, you know, things that you do in your life, lifestyle expertise. Okay, some things about me that I post frequently in my stories. I love to make sourdough bread, so I make sourdough bread on Sundays. I love like okay, I'm really busy during the week, so I hate to admit that we don't usually have a full-on sit-down meal every night during the week, but Sundays we do. And homemaker Courtney comes out on Sunday. So I like to show, look, this is what I got on the Traeger. This is what I hear. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I love to travel. I love, I teach Pilates. And so I'm doing those kinds of things to show like that I have other interests outside of real estate. Now, you don't have to share every aspect of your life. You can still keep some things private, right? But like what are some of your passions that you would like to share that you feel like you can share and that you're comfortable sharing and having that out there and be public? So those are things that are, you know, yes.
I was just gonna say, I did a lifestyle video
Mhm.
on my Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
Where we went to the Harriman Rodeo, because I live in Harriman, anytime, but
Yeah.
I live in Harriman. Went to the Harriman Rodeo, and this little kid, young bull rider, got kicked in the face. He had a mask on, so he was okay. He got a
Yeah.
concussion, but found out later he was a friend of a friend. And anyway, that video that I posted, it had like 2.5 million views, and I gained 6,000 followers.
Oh my gosh. On your TikTok.
Sorry, 5,000 followers on my Facebook. My TikTok's 11. But it's pretty-
Yeah, yeah, I know. I know it's not real estate related, but okay. Wow.
Yeah, so like this, don't blow over this, because you capture something and it goes viral. You
Yes. I will say, which, okay, we travel a lot, but I am a little hesitant on posting too much too, because I don't want people to think that like
just thought.
I'm never home and I'm always on vacation, right? But I will say, when we were on our family vacation in Japan, I had the most engagement on my social media, like everything, my videos, everything, because you can track all that on your business profile to see, how many people are looking. It was off the charts. The whole 2 weeks we were in Japan. So I'm like, I can't do that all the time. Like I was just in Paris last week. I don't think I posted anything on my real estate page because I didn't want people to, yeah. So I have to be kind of careful there, right? You got to be strategic about it.
I don't go on.
I don't go that much. It just happened. It just so happened. It was my sister's fault, and I had points, and I got my tickets paid for. Okay. Yeah, my sister had never been, and she's like, "Will you go? Will you take me?" And I was like, let me see if I have any points. And I did. And I was like, okay, let's go. Anyway, okay, Instagram stories. This is your strategy. Okay. Instagram stories are what sell. Instagram stories are what convert. So on your day to day, you're going to post your certain things, but your stories is where that's where if you're posting 80% personal, 20% business, right? 20% is your grid. 80% is your stories. That's where you're active. That's where people are scrolling. They're in their mind numbing and they're just watching stories go through. That's where, even if they skip them, they're still on there. They're still seeing you. So you have to show your face in stories. I have a tendency recently to just share a lot of like memes and quotes and things, and then I'm like, crap, I got to get on and say something so that somebody sees my face today, right? So I what is the old ratio from that social media class? I think it's 80-20. Isn't it usually 80? I know. Well, you usually just do like one post a day or one post every couple of days, but then every day you're active in your stories. And you want to do at least a couple, more than one, because, well, I wouldn't say 80, like you mean percent. Yeah, percent. And that could be like, it could be like a 1 in 5, a one, whatever. I don't know. No. Okay.
That is my favorite shirt.
I had a bus, I had some buses that we had a campaign going for a while, and that was my photo for the bus. She put a fan on me to get the hair blowing. So it looked like we were moving down the road. Okay, in your stories to help with engagement, adding things like polls, sliders, Q&A boxes, link buttons. Anytime you share anything, what you want to do is share the link to the listing from your KW website, because not the utahrealestate.com one, because if they click on that link and go to it, then they're forced to like put in their info, and it captures their info.
You go to your app and phone, send it so that because it came from your link, it's automatic.
It captures the link. It captures the lead. Do you like this style or this? So trying to get people engaged in stories is important. Okay, on your conversion, you never just say, let me know if you need anything. That's like, at church saying, let me know if you need anything. It doesn't mean like you're ever going to bring them anything, right? Like, what can I do for you? Or can I bring you dinner tomorrow? It's the same idea. Click, blah, 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 blah. Drop your whatever. Read that. The words are not coming. Comment, save. Give them an actual actionable task to do. Otherwise, it just like they'll never say anything. Okay, how to turn comments in. Okay, so you want to make sure that to increase engagement, you're going to, if somebody comments on whatever you post and they're like, that's amazing, and then you can reply, try not to be too salesy, but think about creative ways that you can respond to people's comments to get them engaged. No yes or no questions. Get them talking. Okay, AI integration. So I use AI actually to create my whole plan for my social media in the month. I use it to help me with hooks, captions, market explanations, my email newsletters, my everything. Do I copy and paste? No, but it does help me to generate ideas, right? Reframe language. Oftentimes, like I'll write up, and again, AI is only as good as the information that you put in, right? Your input that you put in is going to predict how well the output is. So you got to give a lot of background, and then, but you do want to be careful that you're not replacing your voice, your authenticity. People are attracted to authenticity, real, raw. So keep that in mind as you're doing that. Also, if you do copy and paste, at least make sure that you remove the M dash. The M dash. an M dash is like there's a, I don't know, here's a word and then there's a line and then it's like a dash, but it's like a long dash. Okay, as an English teacher, I legitimately use M dashes, but I cannot use them anymore. Pisses me off. Same. And now that's a sign that it's AI, but what if it's actually me who use an M dash? I can't use an M dash anymore. So, I mean, I guess you can, but if you are, then what I do is make sure that there's a space and then the dash, because the M dash connects the words and it looks like a long dash. But if you remove that and then do a space and then a dash and then a space, then it looks, then they know that it wasn't just like copied and pasted. It's so dumb. But anyway, okay. So ways to engage, boost your engagement: comment on other people's posts, respond to comments, have easy call to actions that people can, do without causing too much effort. Ask questions and polls, share unpopular opinions, add a sticker in your stories, post when the followers are online, do some giveaways, and create shareable, relatable memes. Okay, I'm going to jump over to you guys, I'm kind of embarrassed about my desktop. So I don't know why I'm embarrassed, but it's very messy. What? What? I have Claude.
Feature they just released called Cowork.
Cowork. Claude Cowork. Okay. Okay. But then we'll be able to find it again. That's the problem. Where is this, Claude? Okay. All right. Oh boy. See, I have a lot. I gotta here. Okay, so at the beginning of the year, so I took a social media class and they gave us a bunch of, yes, prompts. Thank you. So this is what I put in. Let's create a marketing plan for 2026 for Nielsen Property Group, starting with imagining the perfect client for my real estate business based out of Saratoga Springs, Utah, that provides real estate services for buyers and sellers in residential and commercial real estate. I specialize in helping sellers maximize their home sale through positioning their home, blah, blah, blah. Additionally, I tap into the empathy, okay, blah, blah, blah. Occasionally, I help luxury clients up to $2 million, and we are tapping into the development, commercial real estate, brokering, and land, retail, da, da, da. My common objections for potential and clients include concerns regarding the current market conditions, my commission, and for buyers, their mortgage payment. Interest rates are higher as well as home prices, okay? Please describe this ideal customer and client considering the following aspects: their background, their personal history, education, work experience, interests, hobbies, activities, passions, goals, what they strive to achieve in life, challenges or needs, pain points they face, demographics, age, gender, income, psychographics, values, attitudes, lifestyle, desires. Okay, I have all this in here. Provide ideas to overcome their false beliefs. So it comes up, it gives me my ideal customer avatar. So my ideal client is a conscious achiever. Yes, similar to me. Born and raised in Utah or recently relocated for opportunity, quality of life, growing a family. Why is this important to understand your ideal customer? Right. So then AI then knows how to come up with my marketing for my client, right? Education. These are people who have bachelor's degrees or higher. They work in healthcare, tech, education. They're not flashy, but they're competent, reliable, careful. They make anywhere from 100 to 250,000 ish. They have financial stability. They might be small businesses, have side ventures. Luxury move up buyer, first time buyers, commercial development client. Okay. Interests, might be interested in these kinds of things: home design, organizing, outdoor life, wellness, personal finance. Their goals: gives everything about this thing. Okay, so I go through the whole thing and then I have another, some fears and false beliefs. They're common fears. What if I buy now and the market crashes? What if rates never go back down? What if my payment's too high? False beliefs, the market is bad for selling. These are all important because it helps AI come up with content to overcome all of this, right? So here's some, how do I overcome these fears? Give some answers. Okay. Scroll down. It gives me a prompt. Hey, do you want to create a full marketing? But I say, yes, I would. Using the details about my ideal client and offers, help me outline a high-level one-year marketing plan. This plan should focus on overarching themes, key content strategies, messaging themes, and promotional highlights tailored to my audience. I'm a real estate sales agent in Utah real estate industry, and I need content for Instagram, carousel, static posts, reels, bi-monthly podcast episodes, email, LinkedIn, Pinterest. 1-year marketing plan requirements. I need an annual theme with 3 to 4 major themes, quarterly focuses, some key content strategies, messaging themes, calls to action. Okay, so then it gives me an annual theme for my year. So theme 1, strategic selling in any market, conscious home buying and intentional living, wealth building through real estate, community connection, and Utah lifestyle. Okay. In January, quarter 1, we're going to position, prep, and market confidence. So all my posts will be about this kinds of things. Q2, April through June, move up buyer momentum, listing optimization. So in that quarter, we're going to focus on that. In quarter 3, we're going to focus on investing, community, and commercial real estate growth. In quarter 4, we're going to talk about reflecting, refining, and some holiday home transitions. Okay, then it gives me some strategies. Then I say, okay, scroll down a little bit more. Gives me call to action, all the things that I asked for. This says every quarter should mix in 40% education, 30% storytelling, 20% sales, and 10% lifestyle personal connection. So then, okay, all this is great. I like to tell my chat that, it's amazing. And thank you. As part of my social media strategy, I also want to I wanted to integrate some Amazon stuff in it for my my staging. Okay, so it's going to do that. I'm asking for content ideas. I need a monthly theme. Assign a theme for each month that resonates with my ideal client's needs, desires, seasonal interests. I post on Instagram Monday through Friday, so I need an idea for 4 weeks of content minimum. I'd like something educational, something staging, podcast reels, something fun and relevant to the current market conditions, as well as to pop culture, something evergreen content. Evergreen means it's like forever. It's going to withstand the test of time. You could use it for like over and over and over again. It's not like specific to right now's climate. Provide 10 to 15 content ideas for the month, include suggestions for focus on creating content, engages in my audience and drive conversions. Let's see, recommend specific dates or weeks to focus on direct promotions, calls to action, content mix. I want storytelling posts, educational content, behind the scenes, testimonials, facts. Ensure the plan is realistic with content spaced for consistency. Okay, so then it pops out. Okay, for January, we're now I went through and this is not what I ended up with, but this is what it first spit out for me. So we're going to do new beginnings, order, calm, intentional living, market understanding, vision setting for their next chapter, home refreshes and decluttering, hope in a confusing market. So week 1, it says, now then I say 10 to 15 content ideas. So it's giving me a whole bunch of different ideas to do. Gives me for all the things that I ask for. Okay, then it gives me specific for each week. Well, actually, hold on. Okay. Okay, week 1. Now it's giving me what to do on Monday. Do this post. So when I am actually doing that week's post, like I'll sit down 1 day a week and I'll batch a bunch of content for the week. And so then I already have it done. And then I just post it on those days. So I might take a couple hours, 1 day a week, use AI to help me. So I'll put in this later in the month. I'll say, okay, here's my educational post, and I'll copy and paste that, and it'll help me come up with the carousel content. And it'll spit out like something to say on each carousel slide. Do you know what a carousel is? Versus all the things. So carousel is the one where it's like you can flip through, like I think up to 20 pictures now. Okay, so you can have 20 pictures and you want, so for me, if I go to, here's some examples. Wait, where's my grid? Okay, so first off, you can pin some posts to the top. So on your grid, you only have 3. So I do the top 3 posts are my pinned posts usually. So this one just talks about like, okay, here's a carousel that I did. So this was more of like talking about our business last year, and why we'd be a good agent for people this year. Okay, so that's one. Okay, this is one that because I jumped on the trend of the 2016 post, you know, how that's kind of trending right now. What did life look like in 2016? What does it look like now? So I did that. So I did this headshot. This is my headshot from 2016. When I was just getting started jumping in full time. And this was one of my first clients that I closed. Before I knew how many, that's pretty, anyway, it's a door that I photographed. Okay. Dress for the job you're figuring out as you go. The sign that convinced me I made. So this is one of my first listings that I did. Learning by doing, that's one of the people who sold that house bought this house. Learning by doing repeatedly. Trying to look seasoned, wasn't. And only starting, so yeah, doing design. This is why I kept, so another family who I helped buy that year, that's their house. And then, you know, all in by 2016, never looked back. Okay, so that's another carousel type thing. So this is one of my listings that I did. The photographer. Yeah. So there's that. Here's another. So I do this kind of thing consistently that talks about, this would be like an educational type post, what's working in the market. And then it's also a carousel. Then I think that's another one. Let's see, another reel. Oh, here's the primary sweat suite. I'm just showing, I'm going to take it down. I was going to show them what kind of bed I use. So I used to use tables. Now I use a blow up mattress that's fat. And it's awesome.
This is staging.
Yeah. Staging empty. Although I use that same bed in this house right here. Okay, well, someday it'll get to the part where it shows what I'm doing. But, hashtags. You can ask AI to help you with your hashtags. Right now, they say do 5. That could change. And with those hashtags, you want to make sure that they're like, okay, so certain hashtags you can look on them and see like how many people see those, like the reach on them. Some of them are like 500 million, some of them are a million, some of them are 15,000. You want kind of like a mix, like try to bring in the Utah real estate ones that are local, because if somebody types in Utah, you want that to come up for you. Let's see. Anyway. So that's like Be Real type stuff. With words. Oh, this is one of our listings. Okay, so my bio, I have that. So Utah Realtor, Courtney Nielsen. Look, I don't have that many followers. Helping you buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Talks about that, and then it has some links. So I put in my links to my listings here too, so that when I am posting in the stories about my listings, I always put check bio for the link to the listing. So then they go to the bio, where they'll also see my link to my website. Well, these are the links that I have in there right now. My podcast, and then that takes you there, where people can learn more about me if they want. So 2 things before you get all crazy with social media. One thing that you can do that's essentially free is a newsletter. So I do a newsletter, send it out monthly. You can do it more than that. You can do it less than that. You can do a quarterly one. But the reason why I like newsletters is, well, you have all their email information. It's a way for you to directly contact them. Nobody's going to come in and shut you down. Sometimes people take over Instagram accounts. So you have hackers come in, you lose everything. But if you have all the emails in one database and you have direct, and you can send them, like I will in my newsletter say, like when I have a new podcast episode or something, which I haven't done for a while. But when I do one, I'll talk about a little bit about what it is, and then I'll direct them to my podcast. So then it's another way that they can like I think of credibility, how can I create more credibility all the time? An expert in the field when I'm doing anything that I do. I think like some ways like an English teacher who's writing an argument essay. I need to appeal to logic. I need to appeal to ethos, and I need to appeal to pathos, which is emotion. So emotion, logic, and credibility. Those are anything I do. I'm always thinking about how I can like increase all of those. So, any questions on what I do? Any questions on like how do you do some of this?
Would you mind scrolling back up to?
Yeah, I actually have some prompts that are like where you can put in your own, like I have the things and I can share that with you. So I have like a spreadsheet somewhere. But yeah, going in and then just keep playing with chat and keep asking it questions, like sometimes it spits out things and I'm like, I need it more specific. I don't like that. Change it to this, just keep playing around with it and it will spit out a whole month plan for you. And if you're like, hey, I don't want to do 30 days of posts, I only want to do 10 days of posts. Well, it can give you 10 days of posts specifically and when to time them and how they can build on each other, right? To create like a theme. I'm looking for okay. Oh, wait, it's not in here. So yeah, if you want to, so you should ask some of this is some homework for you that you could do right now. What are the core services that you offer? So for me, I help buyers and sellers, residential and commercial. I'm helping like first-time home buyers up to about 2 to 3 million luxury, which I know that's kind of broad, but I help everyone. I don't really get into the super, super luxury only because that costs a lot of money out of pocket. The videos that you have to pay for, the marketing that you have to pay for some of those like $5 million houses, the staging that you have to put in. You can't just put in like regular staging that you put in any other house. Everything has to be like bougie. And I don't really want to put out $10,000 before I list a house. That's me. I don't know that all luxury agents do that, but that's my mindset right now, and maybe it's limited. Okay, where are you based? What specifics do you provide in your course service? Who's your target audience? What makes your services unique? Like what's special about you? 3 common objections that you might have. And then these are the prompts. One-year marketing plan, monthly content plan, content creation prompt database. So if I'm wanting to create an Instagram carousel post, I'll use this and I'll like customize it to what I'm doing. If I want to do a reel, I'll do that. If I want to do like a meme type post, I'll do that. And I kind of just play around with them all. Let's see. I use this one or the real one a lot, but then I'll just change it. Like if it's not going to be a carousel and I just want like a static post or I want a reel, then I could just take it act as a top creator who creates viral carousel posts on Instagram. If you want it to be Pinterest or Facebook or which is the one that guys are on, LinkedIn. Not saying girls don't go on there, but I feel like it's very male centric on there. Not fun for me. I hate LinkedIn. My husband is on there and he loves it. He loves posting and all the things. And I'm like, there's no pictures. See, I like the pretty things. So Pinterest and Instagram for me for the win. Yeah.
There like an appropriate way to ask the listeners like, hey, I just want to do social posts, like where are they?
Yeah, I'll either just call them on the phone or send them a text and say, hey, I usually don't tell them I'm storing it. Well, you can. You say, I want to showcase it on my social media. You can just be upfront. I want to showcase it on my social media. Is it okay if I post it? And they'll, yes, no, maybe so. But I know for me personally and agents in our office, like I am all about cross posting. I want as many agents posting my videos and things as much as possible. So even if you're worried about like maybe just start with the agents in our office because you are with Keller Williams and the listing agreement is with the broker, it's with me as an agent, but it's with the brokerage, right? So you being a member of this, an agent with this brokerage, you can, but we also don't know what the agreement says. Like maybe their clients don't want them to post. You do need to double check, but ask any of us. I know, at least because I talk to Becca and Susie all the time. I know the 3 of us are like, post mine, post mine, post mine. As many agents out there because the more people out there looking, and I want you to have an opportunity to potentially find a buyer for your listing. So, or for my listing. So yeah, anybody who wants to cross post mine, go for it.
It seems almost like everything you're doing is towards your sphere,
Yes,
your connection. You're not trying to be insta famous or anything.
right. I'm not trying to be Insta famous.
If I post it, my friends probably don't know where.
Right. So they're not seeing it. So I want more reach. So if you can put it in your sphere, get more reach, then we're getting a lot more. So that's the advantage and the incentive for me. Like, again, I'm not trying to be like Cameron says, I'm not trying to be Insta famous here. I'm just using this as a tool to connect with my community. There are some agents who do things to try to get more Insta famous, and that's fine if that's going to be your strategy. And maybe they're getting deals from that. I don't know. But for me, okay, Cameron says no, they're not.
There was a.
And I believe that.
She's in Salt Lake, and she like is mean about listing. She's like this.
Boy, yeah, she's hilarious. I love her. Yeah. But actually, if you look at her production, it's not very high.
She sold 3 houses. Like I looked her up in the summer, and so I went from like July to July or something, and she sold 3 houses.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she had like all of these people paying her to do listings and doing all of these other things. And like, she's just insta famous. She's not a good real estate agent.
Yeah. I would also say that about another agent, not in our office, who's very famous in Utah County, does luxury listings. Uh, she does quite a bit of business, and she has what, 250,000 something ish followers. She's not getting any more listings than the rest of us are. Like maybe a couple more, but I wouldn't say she's doing 100. She's doing same 35, 50 deals. That's a lot. But
No, they don't do anything.
right, and that's what I was just going to say. There are agents who are doing that so really you're focusing to me when I stopped thinking, do I need to be Insta famous, and started just focusing on my community and trying to reach my community, everything changed.
What, maybe I'll ask you this question. Like, as somebody who's been both in construction and real estate development, how do I touch all 4 pillars of that without creating the consistent brand? Like you guys do a lot, but
I would,
do I just do a real estate brand? Do I
No.
do my construction brand? Do I do everything?
I think because you are the builder agent, I think you do have to like brand yourself that way, in my opinion. But I would ask chat. I would put in this whole thing and then say, these are the things that I do. Help me. That's very question that you asked me. How can I create a marketing strategy that doesn't alienate one? Because it is a worry for me too, sometimes when I'm like, oh, like if I start posting too much about commercial where my residential clients think that I'm not doing residential anymore, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. And it's like, no, we're doing both. So there is that fine line balance, but I think chat could probably help you figure that out. But Casey did a couple of really amazing posts this last week that I was like, that was genius. And you need to do some ads. One, because he built that, what house?
253 White Pine, it's on the market for 60.
Yeah. So he built that house with whatever builder it was. He was the project manager. Magleby. He built the house with Magleby, but he was the builder, 60 million.
Magleby hired me to build the house.
Right. Right. Right.
My posts have just been like, if I can build this with them, I can certainly build it.
Yeah. And then that one with the rainbow, that was funny.
Oh, the house?
Yeah. So there was a rainbow with the house. It like perfectly lined up and the house was like the pot of gold. It was like, I thought that was cute. So,
On, whether personal should be your business profile or if it's better to have 2 separate. For both Instagram.
yeah. So for me, because I have 4 kids, I do keep a personal one and a business one, but I hardly post on my personal one. That's for me like a scrapbook. like birthdays and things that we do, like I'll post something on that and it's like a few people, but even on that, I like tell people, go follow me on my real estate page. So, and I still do post some things with my family, but rarely on my grid. It might just be in my stories where I'll be somewhere with the family and do like a video with us, right? So people do know I have a family, and most people who follow me are my friends and family, right? But it's public. So for me, I don't want my big kids are all adults now, so it's fine. But I don't want my 11-year-old's face like splattered everywhere. So I don't really post her that much just for safety and privacy. Um, but again, she's on my stories often. Well, not that often, but sometimes. But the stories, I feel like, well, I guess anybody can screenshot it, but they're going to come and they're going to go. So, and occasionally I have done like a post on Ben and a post, happy birthday, whatever. And there might be some family pictures mixed in on that, but rarely. So for me personally, I keep them separate. But also the other thing is you do want to make sure that it's a business and you want to make sure that you're set up as an influencer. Because even if it's your personal one, because you get different tools that you don't get on the personal page, like the professional dashboard. Uh, yeah, so if you're going to use your personal account and you're going to just use it for mostly business or whatever, you're going to combine the two, then just change it in the settings, change it from a personal to a business influencer one. Yeah. And that will help you get more reach. That will help you get the tracking tools because I can look on everything that I post. I can go and see what the engagement was. I can see like how many new followers I'm getting from that. And so I do get new followers. Like I am continually building my thing, but it's just a small, slow burn. It's not viral. Um, yeah, so that's my opinion on it. I don't know if that really answered your question. I think it can go either direction, however, what you want to do. But if you do want to keep some aspects of your life completely just private and like that nobody can access, then
Like, like I would do it all for my person, but I don't want it to be like too much for now you're losing followers. So, like don't half your family friends don't live in Utah here. Like
got it. Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, I would say like I rarely post on my personal one. I would say most people know me through my real estate one. And I will say most of my cousins, aunts, uncles, people who don't live here follow me and I get business from them. Like I have a couple cousins who every single one of their kids who've moved to Utah have bought a house for me. They're always reaching out. So don't discount the people who don't live here. But also, I don't know. My dad was in sales and he was kind of one of those old school sales guys that was like really in your face and pushy. And I'm like, don't want to be anything like that. And so even on chat, I'll ask questions. Okay, help me come up with this post without being too salesy and too pushy, but being subtle and la la la. And it will like it'll help you. I mean, I hate that I'm like using chat all the time, but it's genius. It's a tool there for us.
Well, you know,
That's true. If we don't use AI, we'll be left. And I actually use a bunch of tools too. I don't just use chat. I use Perplexity and I use Claude and I use ChatGPT mostly for my stuff. So on Perplexity, it's kind of like it's a Google on steroids, and it is amazing. So when I'm creating like research packets for like, okay, I'm going to go do a listing appointment or helping with buyers to see what the market is. Like I'll go to the utahrealestate.com and I'll pull some stats from that. Then I'll take it over to Perplexity. I'll put in my whole thing out. Okay, I'm going to be showing a house in this area. Help me come up with some key points about Eagle Mountain or Saratoga or what's the days on market. I'll put in some data points for it and then it will do some like major research and spit stuff out. And then I'll take that over to Claude. Claude is more, if you want like newsletter type material, maybe like more humanized. You've fallen in love with Claude more than anything else. Okay, yeah. Claude,
I'm on the nerd end of things. And
okay. So tell us why you like Claude more.
you can interact with stuff that I have saved. And it does a better job at looking and using other tools and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, you can put in like it'll analyze things and put in websites and put in PDFs and put in all the stuff and it will like analyze it all for you and then spit it out into like amazing. Like I've won some listings from some referrals from out of state that I didn't know anybody from like doing a little bit of research. And then I've also popped things into Gamma and used them too for like some presentations. But I am a Canva person. So yeah, Perplexity is good, Claude's good, and then chat is more like business strategy.
Like chat back and forth with ChatGPT. Claude's like my worker.
Yeah,
I see it.
yeah, yeah. So yes, I'll take the outputs from one and put it in the other too.
And I'll tell them, hey, ChatGPT gave me this. What do you think of that? And then I'll make Claude, hey, Claude gave me this. Chat, what do you think of that? They'll like fight against each other.
And they'll fight against each other. I love it. Yeah. And there's so many more tools. It's a lot. And with social media too, it's a lot. Pick one for now. And then as you get comfortable with one, then you can start adding on some additional tools, like you use and know how to use TikTok. You should use TikTok.
Should use TikTok. We got a lot of personal stuff on TikTok, so I'm not sure I want to mix those brands, but maybe.
It's where, like, Instagram.
I do.
Like this. TikTok is where I'm.
Yeah. Yeah. Becca's a TikTok girl. She also does Instagram. She kind of does both. And gosh, I hate TikTok. I don't either. Although I am definitely a geriatric when I go. But when I go onto TikTok, there is something about TikTok. I do record some of my videos on there if I'm doing a video of me talking. And that's because it has an automatic face correction, like it clears up your face.
Studio instead of regular TikTok, download the studio one. I don't know if you can.
Oh,
You have a certain number of followers, but if you get the studio version, it'll do a lot more features than TikTok. It'll give you a lot. Whereas I suck at Instagram. Like, how the hell does Courtney do all this stuff?
so sometimes I'll record my videos in TikTok and then I'll download it before I post it, right? Then I put it into my reel. And oftentimes, I know you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to like download the Instagram and then go upload it to TikTok because it has the brand Instagram on it. But people do it all the time. I know, but I think it does I read somewhere that I could blacklist it. Like it takes it, the algorithm like flags it, doesn't like it. So if you're doing that, you want to try to save the video without without the watermark.
You'll just record yourself in the camera and do your video there. You then put it into each one.
Yeah.
and then-
Well, I like the camera of TikTok is what I'm saying. Because of the face corrector.
It'll still imply it.
I thought, does it? But I want it to be in my Instagram.
Not a girl.
So you don't care about that?
Look at it's everywhere, and it's just
Us girls, we
So-
care. I don't know. It definitely, I don't know, something about the lighting on it, just it's just a better.
That camera production is so much better than my normal camera. And yeah,
Agreed. So sometimes I'll take a video in that and then just save it before I'll just save it and not post it. Yeah.
Well, you have like a gimbal like this, like one that just kind of like carry around and stops from bouncing, or what do you have to carry your stuff?
So I bought a gimbal and I tried using it and I could never figure it out. So no. If you can show me how to use that, yes, I want a gimbal. Um, like that actually works. I do have a small little ring light that I bring with me, and I'll just like set up a little. I have that always in my car. The ring light and the
So you have a ring light, how big is your?
the one for my car is just like the little one, just enough for my phone. But then I have one here in my office that I have like a big one.
Is that what, so, podcast room?
That was mine that I put in the podcast room that and I do the podcast not to be a Joe Rogan, but simply because I feel like I'm better at videoing more of a long content thing and then taking that and breaking it up versus going in and doing 5 videos. I just want to sit down and talk for an hour or 45 minutes and then use the content from that to then, whatever my theme that I'm going to talk about that month. But that again, it's more of just another tool in my tool belt to show, look, I'm credible. I don't know that I really have to keep proving that anymore, but for some reason I feel like I do.
I think it is posts.
I think it's in the policy. I think it's more like
Think,
run of tips.
oh,
What if I'm in construction?
That part's unfair, like builders gonna do whatever they want.
Do you know that I can pay a finder's fee to out-of-state people
Yeah.
of whatever, like a full size, like 3% to anybody? Because I'm a builder. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I
But
just,
as an agent, you get in trouble.
as an agent, I get in trouble.
Yeah. I just default to like at the very end of your comment, like where you're having all your hashtags, you'll say,
Yeah.
question.
yeah. You can add it as a hashtag even. Or at the bottom of my post, I'll say something like, want more info? I have not done this on every post. But a lot of times, sometimes if I remember at the bottom, I just have like a standard for more content, follow Courtney, and I'll even put in my at real Courtney Nielsen so that if they're looking in that, they can actually click on me and follow, But on every listing and everyone, I always put listed by. I don't do it on some of my more generic things though. But I don't know, on that, do we need to? I think for sure if you're highlighting a listing, you absolutely have to. The other, I don't know. I used to be, it had to be 1 click or 2 clicks.
Really nice, because I was just put it in your profile.
Yeah.
Like, there.
And you're there.
But
People started getting fined and getting in trouble and
the whole idea is you don't want to do a blind ad. So if you could be seen as like an ad or real estate advice or something like that, that's where you could probably put in. But even that it's still 1 click away. Let's be honest. Like if you're in the comments and you're watching the whole video and then you have to click in the comments, that's 1 click.
yeah. And I do have like my logo, Nielsen Property Group. I have that on the end of almost every reel, but it doesn't say that KW Westfield on it.
Yeah, you should put just like a little KW Westfield.
I know.
And you'd be good.
Then I'd be
Can you just
fine.
make a sticker and put it on the last second of the video?
It should
Yeah.
say KW Westfield.
Yeah.
And that's another reason you probably don't want to ever be famous. Because those people get in trouble.
You do.
If it was randomly a house that never said KW Westfield, no one would know because I don't have followers. Someone was-
Yeah, one of my friends got fined big, actually.
Post of this. Well, you didn't see your post at the beginning.
Yeah, so never call a listing for sale. Because then you have to go back and update the status. So if you're just saying, check out this awesome home. Then if someone's like, it's not for sale anymore. Like, I never said it was for sale. I said, check out this awesome home. So.
Hmm,
Otherwise you have to go edit.
I definitely have a lot of posts I need to edit.
How fine of a line do I have to walk, or do I have a lot more aperture as a builder to post? Like if I had my listing for my lot for sale, but I kept the house as a builder pocket listing as opposed to like, so if I'm saying, I'm a builder, I'm gonna list this lot for $300,000. There are plans of it, I'll contact the builder. And then on my builder side, I'm like, this house is for sale with Gray Mountain Custom Homes. Like, how much danger am I flirting?
Because you are an agent,
You might have to do everything. Agent.
builder agent. I don't know.
That's,
Well,
That's a
click
Dean
on the-
question.
So what I'm saying is if I put the listing on as an MLS, like the lot, owner, agent, builder. But if the only way I'm marketing the house is on my construction website, am I crossing lines there? I need a lawyer. Really?
That's a good question. I would say on our website, I don't think, on our builder website, I don't think,
because
Yeah,
you can exclude things from the MLS.
yeah, you can,
You just need to get a form signed by the seller and you're the seller.
and you're the seller.
And really the form is, if the MLS gets mad at you, you just show them like, I have this form signed. They didn't want to be up. Oh, okay, you're good.
Well, and if it is the builder, oh,
Maybe I should get a hat that says Keller Williams and a hat that says Gray Mountain Custom Homes and just wear that. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea.
Put my hard hat on.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna be a hard one.
Hey, now I'm in builder mode.
Yeah, that's actually funny. Yeah, I love that.
Maybe I need to get a lot of.
No, then you'll know.
Hey, to what end, Casey? I literally thought about that in the MRED program. I was like, it's only another 20 credits. Should we do it? And then I'm like, no, no more school.
I think you and I had that conversation.
We did, especially when that dude was in our class who was in the law program. And I was like,
And then I'm like, what if I just keep my hat? Like,
I know, it's terrible.
it's so much money. I'm still paying.
Yeah,